Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Rick Baker with the Frisco, Texas office of Coldwell Banker. Here's some amazing news that just came out today. Today, the Consumer Price Index came out. Last month, it was actually negative. This month, it just went up a little. Now, the Consumer Price Index is one of the things that the Federal Reserve watches to figure out how to adjust the interest rates because we've had massive inflation for the last 4 years because the previous administration was printing literally trillions and trillions of dollars a year. So that drove up inflation. March, we actually had negative inflation because the price for gasoline and food dropped like a rock. This month, it was very small. Here's the headline from today: lowest inflation since February of 21. So over 4 years, we haven't had this type of low inflation. So what's going to happen is if Trump can do this again, and you're just seeing massive price drops with gasoline and food because of, drill baby drill, which is Trump's favorite saying, you're going to see a lot further drops in inflation. If the Fed sees that for 3 or 4 months in a row, they're going to slash the interest rates. We've already had 2 months in a row of very low inflation. So how that affects the real estate market is, of course, as the interest rates come down, most of the buyers are sitting on the sidelines waiting for the interest rates to drop. If we get to 6, all the buyers are going to run out, get off the couch, go get pre-approved, and we're going to go back to the bidding wars because there's just not enough houses out there. Something like 70% of the homes in America have the COVID rates of mortgages, 2.5% or 3%, depending on when they bought. Those people, it's going to be a major life event. It's what I call the big three: death, job, divorce. Those are the only things that will make those homes come on the market. So therefore, when the buyers come back, they're going to be chasing a very small number of houses. The law of supply and demand says when there's lots of buyers and not a lot of sellers, prices go up. Right now, the reverse is happening, so it's a very unique opportunity because last year was tough to sell. So the people that couldn't sell last year are listing now, April and May. We're seeing massive increases in inventory. All the buyers are waiting. If you wait for the interest rates to drop, it's a huge mistake. If you buy now, you can negotiate very hard. Something like 50% of the deals these days are offering seller concessions, so that way the seller gives money to the buyer as an incentive to close. And people use that for their closing costs. Just never, ever, 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 ever use that money for a buy down. But if you do the math on it, when you shop with your mortgage broker, ask them without the buy down and with the buy down. Look at the monthly savings per month and see what it actually costs you for that buy down. So if it costs you, say, it's a $400,000 house, say it's 1 point, it's $4,000. Divide the monthly savings into that $4,000, and that's the number of months it takes to break even. It's generally a minimum of 36 months, sometimes 4 years for it to break even. So what happens is that those things are just never going to happen. I mean, there's nobody that says the interest rates are going to be this high in 18 months. So take the money for the closing, use it. By the way, you can use all that money for anything that's a legitimate closing cost. Instead of writing a check out of your pocket for your first year of homeowner's insurance, you can use that money. You can use that to pre-fund your escrow. You can use that to pay the HOA for up to 1 year. All that money goes towards your legitimate closing costs, so your cash out of pocket is less. All right? That's how it works. Negotiate hard. Go get a real realtor. Last year, I was top 4% in the world. My website is getarealrealtor.com. And if you're thinking of selling, call me. I'll talk you out of it. Because you know what? Dallas, Fort Worth real estate it's a gold mine. Is there any doubt in your mind within a year or two, prices are going to be a lot higher? When the interest rates drop, the prices will go back up. So give me a call. I'll show you how to keep your primary residence, take some of the equity that you have there, go buy another property and keep the first one, put your kids through Harvard. What I tell people is, like, if you want to sell a house, it's generally, it's 3% listing commission, generally 3% buyer's agent commission, and title's 2.5%. So that's 8.5% to sell a house. Take that 8%, 8.5%, go buy another house. Keep the first one, create generational wealth, and that's the best thing you can do for your family. I was an investor before I was a realtor. At my peak, my wife and I owned 52 rentals at the same time. I self-managed them, and I teach people how to grow wealth by not selling it. If you go onto my Facebook page, it's Rick Coble Banker. The main photo is my Texas license plate. It says never sell. Kind of tells you where my head's at. I would love to have a conversation with you about that, how to create generational wealth. Again, it's Rick with Coble Banker, 972-836-8880. The website is getarealrealtor.com. And for those of you who are still thinking about selling, go to neversellyourhome.com. Neversellyourhome.com. It'll give you all the data about what's happening in the Dallas real estate market. And there's just no doubt within a year or two, you're going to see very strong price appreciation. And then I can tell you, I told you so. Give me a call. I'd love to show you how to do that. 972-836-8880. Thank you.